All right, so now when you have someone and they send their video and you go, holy cow, this is awesome. Now what? Then you're gonna go through a hiring process, right? You're gonna talk to them on the phone. Let's say you got 3 people to send a video in. You like all 3 of them, so you're gonna do a phone interview. Then you're gonna invite them in to sit down, so you can kind of see, about them, who they are, how they dress, and stuff like that. To see if they fit with what you're looking to accomplish for the position you want to fill. And then you say, okay, you're going to hire them, right? And then we'll get into compensation here in a second. But the bottom line is you're going to have them sign what's called an employment agreement. Okay. Now, this is employment agreement. It's in a Word doc, right? So you can modify it and put your own company in there if you want. But it's the appointment, right? And I'm not going to read this whole thing to you, but basically you're appointing them as an outside sales rep. General duties, right? Here's some general duties. Expectations. Rep shall get along with other employees. This is big with me. I don't like infighting. If I have infighting within the company where people are going back and forth and this, that, and the other, next. I'll fire them both and I'll find somebody else. I don't care. Rep shall be respectful. Rep shall be a shining example of Sean Terry and the company and the all interactions with other employees. Rep must be excited, enthusiastic about the job and the surroundings. Rep must be the best ever to meet company's contract revenue goals, right? Rep must meet, and then it talks also about revenue goals through various means, including but not limited to seller leads that are company provided, existing database leads, real estate agent leads, Craigslist, for sale by owner site, and self-generated leads, including but not limited to for sale by owner leads, vacant property leads, referrals, and follow-up. So it basically lists, say, listen, you're not just going to sit there and wait for the company to provide leads. You're going to get up off your butt and you're going to go generate leads and like a normal sales rep does. Normal sales, a lot of sales reps, they don't provide any leads. Remember, if you guys saw Glenn Ross in that ABC Always Be Closing scene where he just goes off. Right, he had the Glengarry leads, and there was maybe like a stack of them, and each one of the sales reps, these guys are selling land, they got 2 or 3 if they're lucky, only if they produced. So the producers got the leads, the lamos didn't, right? So that's the deal. I said that's normal sales. If you look at normal sales, the bottom line is in normal sales, you've got to generate business, and then there's company generate leads. I don't want some guy who's fat and happy that's going to sit back and wait, right, for the company to spend all the money and provide the leads, and then there's no vested interest in them. They're going to go out there and get it done. So, going off. Now, rep must be important and deadlines requested the company. Must get a 15-day notice company prior to request time off. Work hours must be 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Rep shall show up on time. So basically, most sales reps are out in the field all day long. They come in on Mondays and report their results and what they've done. General duties: manage seller leads and offers in the company's database. Post new properties on whiteboard, including submission checklists. Report every Monday on numbers assigned to the rep by attending Monday morning meetings. Increase company's profits by producing contracts from sellers' leads provided general rep. So these are basically the responsibilities of what they have to do. Conflict of interest. This right here is where it's the non-compete, right? So during the term of the agreement, rep shall not represent, promote, or otherwise try to sell any other properties that, in company's judgment, compete with the properties covered by in this agreement. If rep is found breaching Section 3 of this agreement, rep shall be immediately terminated without compensation. The rep specifically agrees that for a period of 2 years, after the rep is no longer employed by the company, the rep will not engage directly or indirectly either as a provider, stockholder, partner, officer, employee, or otherwise, and in the same or similar activities as were performed for the company in any business, wholesale properties, or provide service similar to those provided to the company, and that any time during the 2 years of preceding the rep's termination of the employment. So this, and when I sit down with them and I make it 100% clear with them my expectations on what they can and cannot do. I don't want to have any, well, I don't know, maybe they're doing deals behind my back, I'm taking my leads and doing behind my back. you know, everything comes around, goes around, and believe me, I know tons of people, and you might know tons of people in the market or whatever, you know, and people get nervous about, you know, bringing somebody in and kind of seeing their whole operation and this, that, and the other. But I make it 100% clear. Listen, if you're intense to come in here and try to learn all the information and then leave, then we're going to have issues, and there's going to be a lawsuit following it. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty upfront, and I said, listen, now's your time. If you can't commit to that, then we need to part ways right now, and I'll find somebody else. If you can move forward, you know, this is part of my agreement. It definitely needs to be signed. I just make it clear. There's no if, and, no question, no buts, no gray area. It's clear specifically what I expect, right? And because I'm the one hiring. I'm the one that's providing the leads, right? I'm the one that's hiring. So I have expectation. Indemnification, rep shall indemnify and hold the company harmless from any of all claims, damages, lawsuits, closing, reasonable attorney fees arising out of neglect, negligence, or maleficent acts as a rep and its employees and agent. This is if I hire a guy, he's a moron, and he turns around and tells some seller, you know, something and this, that, and the other, and then all of a sudden we have problems. If the person's not ethical, you know, then this is an indemnification clause. Compensation. Rep shall receive a base salary of $3,000 a month. The commission of 10% shall be paid to the rep on the closed net profit the company receives during the pay period. Rep shall also receive 15% commission on closed profit the company receives during the pay period for self-generated leads. Basis of commission, net profit is calculated by subtracting the total purchase price of the company, purchase price of the property, including closing costs, fees less the sales price less closing cost fees. Thus, the total net revenue of the company receives from the sale of the property. So that makes it clear. What's the basis of your base of getting paid? The commission. The bottom line, the basis is, you know, holy cow, you get the net proceeds, the wire that comes in my account. Time of payment, when you get paid. The total commission shall be paid on the 1st and the 15th of each month. The commission shall be calculated on the closing sales during the pay period. So everything that closes between the 1st and the 15th, guess what? That's when you calculate it all up, and that's what you get paid on. Everything closes on from the 16th to the 31st, whatever, that's when you get paid on. Vacation time. Rep shall earn 1 paid day of vacation each month, work for a total of 12 days a year. This time can be accumulated and rolled over to next year if desired. Any other time off requested will be non-paid vacation. You got to make it clear, because people go, well, I'm sick, or I'm vomiting, or I hurt. Well, guess what? Let me ask you a question. Do you want to take that as a vacation day, or do you want to take that as a non-paid day? And then you would dock their pay, okay, for that 1 day. Okay, so the bottom line is you get 1 paid day of vacation each month at the work. So here's the interesting thing. You know, let's say it's, you know, June, right? They have 6 days accumulated. They can't take 2 weeks off in June. Why? Because they haven't accumulated those time off yet, right? They can't do it. They can take 6 days off in June, at the end of June, but this is accumulated time. You can't take time off in the future. You don't just get 12 days a year. It's accumulated time. Okay. Term and termination. Commencement agreement on a certain date, continue for 60 days thereafter, okay? So what I do is we do a 60-day trial period for each person that starts. If they show me what they've got in those 60 days, then I will extend a contract for 6 months. If we're good after 6 months, then I'll extend a contract for a year. So here's the deal. If someone doesn't impress me in the first 60 days, then they're definitely not going to impress me in the next 6 months. It's not going to happen, okay? So they've got to impress me, show me what they got, crank it up, and go to work. Now, here's the thing. What if they're not producing results, right? What if they suck? What if they suck? But they're learning and they're getting better each and every week. Because you're doing these Monday morning meetings with these guys, is that you are able to track growth. If they're getting worse and they're not in, they don't want it, right? They're not there, and they're kind of just there just to get the paycheck and stuff like that, you'll know pretty quick. And guess what? This is your opportunity to say, see ya. Return of materials, right? Limited liability. Confidentiality. We have a confidentiality, basically, you know, for an example, let's say you, right, the guys listening to this right now, want to come up and talk to Brandon or one of my sales guys. Guess what? He has a confidentiality agreement he signed. He can't be sharing our company's business plans or technology, what we do, without my express written consent. Okay? It's for me to do that if I decide. But here's the deal. I share a lot about my business, but I don't share it all. I don't share it all, right? I share it all a lot, probably 95%, but I don't share there are things I'm doing right now in the business that are producing amazing results that we're still testing and we're still working on right now, and I'll eventually will bring it to the market and I'll talk about it, but I don't share everything, of course, you know, it's just, I can't share every single aspect, and it's not meant to be a jerk or meant to be whatever. It's just we're doing things right now that we're in the process of testing that sometimes it doesn't work. I've done things where in marketing, it's typically around the marketing, and it bombs. It sucks bad. It blows. Terrible, right? Imagine if I would have just taught it, right? No, I only teach what I know that is proven to work through reporting. That's it. Any notices, waivers, governing law, servability, boom. And that's it. This is the employment agreement and how that works in detail, so you guys know.